Well, Dumas and Moore County in this area is very heavy in agriculture and oil and gas. And so, always there's been a lot of cattle here, even for decades before there was a lot of corn grown. And then about in 1965 or 66, my dad and his two brothers came up and started breaking out some land and growing corn, irrigated corn, which was really kind of a new thing for here. There'd been a lot of wheat before, but not as much irrigated corn. And so they were some of the first in the area to do that. And so we left shallow water, the Lubbock, Texas area, and came this direction. And it's been really great for us. It's been good for our families, and it's been a good place to live.
Dumas is really small. It's only like 10,000 people. It's really peaceful. When you come here, you just relax, and you don't have the hustle and bustle of the city and deal with normal stuff that you would in the city. So it's really nice it's relaxing when you come here.
In about 2002 or 2003, Cameron Silveus, he was one of those Yankees who came down to Texas, and he came up and found Brent, showed him the product, and asked him what he thought about it. And Brent said, well, it sounds good, but if you had it on corn, we'd be interested in that. Cameron said, well, if I could get it on corn, would you buy it? And he said, yeah, I'd buy that. And he said, well, if I got it on corn, would you help me sell it? And Brent said, yeah, we'd help you sell it. And we thought we'd never see him again. We thought he was just kind of a Yankee passing through. We didn't know that never see him again. So came back about 8 or 9 months later and found Brent again and said, okay, we've got it. Get your license. We're ready to go. And Brent said, we don't want to get our license. We don't want to sell insurance. And he said, no, you said you would. Yeah. So long story, but it wound up Brent and I both got our license and started selling insurance. And that was a great day for us. It was really good for us in our farming operations, and then just being in business with the Silveuses has been a great thing for our families, and a great career decision. And it's been a good spiritual partnership and a great friendship as well. So we're really happy about the day that the Yankee found us down here.
Well, at the time we were, in prayer a lot, asking God where we needed to be working. And a lot of times we do stuff and then ask God to bless it. Well, in this case, we were asking God to show us where He was working so that we could be where He was.
It's got to a point where we said, God, what do you want to do? Show us what you want to do, and we'd like to be involved in that. And that was kind of where the idea of the Refuge came from. And it's a recovery house. It's not, you don't go there for treatment for addiction, but whenever you're through with the treatment, then what do? To put your life back together and to learn to make good decisions and just to build a different life and a healthy life. It's the one place I've ever known of personally where there's real hope for people with real addictions. And so it's a great thing. God's done good stuff. Real early on in the process, Charles Stevens, who's the director of the Refuge now, came in and took over as being the director. And he is, man, I think he was raised up for this particular job.
I believe with every fiber of my being, every cell in my body, I believe that this is what God wants me to do on earth. This is my mission.
I was born here in Dumas, 1944. I grew up in a very Christian home, and somewhere down the road I kind of drifted away. I knew I was getting ready to get drafted, so I went and joined. Ended up spending 2 years in Korea, 2 years in Germany, and 2 years in Vietnam. Got 5 bullet holes in me. Was with the 101st Airborne Division, 69th Sniper Squadron, and I did some awful things. I was a bad person. I didn't even like myself. And here lately, I've been trying to figure out why God spared me, because everybody says I've got a purpose, and I'm still searching for my purpose. I mean, I don't know what it is. I went from owning 2 homes to living in Red Barn Cave, back 2.5 miles outside of town, an old Drover Cave. I lived in a cave for about 4 months. And on one of my weekly trips coming into town to fill up my water bottles and everything, Melanie stopped me and asked me if I'd like to have a cold drink of water. I said, sure, why not? So we sat down there on the front porch of the Refuge and started talking. And I've been with the Refuge for 5 years now. Proud of it. I'm proud of it, boy. I'd fight tooth and nail for it. And Charles, he's like a big brother to me.
Well, some people come in broken. Some people come in. Some people come in still high. Some people come in still drunk. Some people come in broken-hearted. Some people, but it all depends on how much you're willing to put into it. If you want to go in there, and we have a couple of rooms that are for people that come straight off the streets, that they're allowed to sleep in there for a couple nights and figure things out. And you can either lay in there and not do nothing, but if you come in here with the mindset that you want recovery, it's right here. This is where it's at. It just depends on how much you want it. And I mean, when I first got into recovery again this time, when I realized that I needed to go get some help, I didn't have enough strength to visualize myself as the reason for getting recovery. So I looked at my family, I looked at my kid, and I looked at my wife, and I looked at the disappointment. And I'm tired of that. So, but now that I've taken the effort to really dig into what does Aaron want, what do I want out of this situation, what am I willing to offer this situation, what can I give back to it, I'm learning to do it for me, because if I don't do it for me, I can't do it for them. But I know there's a lot of room to grow, but it's okay right now, and I want it. I want to be the person that I want to be for myself and my family. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm trying to learn.
Before I come in here, about the last 3 years, I was living in hell. I mean, it was pure hell. I wasn't looking for suicide, but if too many drugs or whatever came and took me, I didn't care. Within one Sunday morning, I got up and I was still pretty messed up. But I asked God, I said, I've had enough of this. I got to do something. And the next thing I knew, I was in the living room of the Refuge there. God's with me. I mean, the past is done. It's over with. I'm facing right now. Get up in the morning, and say, what's going to face me today? Ask God to here it is. Give it to Him every morning.
It's changed my life completely. So I've watched it change a lot of lives. I've been here for 4.5 years, and I've watched it change a lot of lives. They don't understand everything that we do, but the love that they show us is more than most of us can ask for. More than most of us have ever experienced.
Like I say, I went from living in a cave to living in the duplex next door. God's been good to me. I'm just trying to give back. I don't know how, but I'm going to try some way. I know that there's something I can do out there. But I wouldn't take for the Refuge.
Well, Jerry, I don't know what all your purpose is supposed to be or what all you're supposed to do, but I do know that in the last months of my dad's life, you were a great, great comfort to him.
He was a big comfort to me too.
He loved you, and I do.
I love Jimmy like a father.
I appreciate what you did and joy you brought to him those last months of his life. That was a big deal.
I loved him like a dad. I did.
it's been a really great experience, and you know, it's not all pretty, and it's not all pleasant stories, but you work through those things, and it has been a place of hope for a lot of people, and a place of recovery and success for a lot of people who I'm not sure they could have found it in other ways. And so it's been very rewarding and really terrific.
This is where I give up drinking. Knew that there's a better life and everything, and it means a lot to me. I mean, it really means a lot to me.
The Refuge saved my life. It restored a lot of things for me. I now have my children back, my life back, my family back. It saved my life.
Well, you know, the Refuge has taught me a lot about being mature. Taught me like how to live for real instead of just that false sense of pride that I always, you know, had. It's changed me, changed my life.
Word exactly. A place of safety and comfort, especially spiritual guidance. You get a lot of comfort, but yeah, it's a safe place.
The Refuge is my life. That is my life.
It's a new way of life, new way of thinking. It's definitely something that you can't get in the outside world. You're surrounded with a great group of people. Everybody has ideas on a new way of thinking, and it literally changes your perspective on this world.
The Refuge is home. It turned my life around, and I had problems, and I don't now. I've got God in my heart. I've got family. I've got great friends. And it's just home. That's all I can say.